Marketing is hard, and as such, it's very intentional. I think when I think about that, I think of Anthropic in particular. Over the past couple of months, they've been very big on AI safety. Some would say overly so to the point where they've made very big claims in terms of the capability of AI in the future days, which I still think are correct. But then what's happened now is that there has, maybe due to Anthropic, been a heightened sense of worry among some government officials, among the general public, on the capability of these AI models. And as of recent, Claude or Anthropic, they had a model called Mythos that was for a select group of companies who were there just allowing them to pass up some cybersecurity issues, and then they released Mythos in the form of Fable, which was more guardrailed model to be more safe to release to the general public. But then shortly after the release, it got blocked by the U.S. government, citing safety concerns that were sent over to Anthropic. Anthropic apparently said, "Hey, this is not big of a deal. Other models have it." But then the government said no, pulled it back with some expert controls. The whole thing, I didn't want to get into the he said, she said. I think it's open to anyone to discuss that. But I do think in the AI space, there's a lot of careless speaking, to say the least. And it's for various reasons. From the model providers, from the companies, it makes sense to make these models seem bigger than life, right? Because saying I have a magic wand that can turn stuff into flowers is pretty cool, right? People love that. But saying I have a magic wand that can change the atomic element of something with no energy needed, that's a way more valuable item, right? They can't do the same thing. But the point is, I think that's where these companies come from. I can completely understand that because I also like to see these models get better because the better they get, the more stuff I can do with them, right? But in saying that, there is also a responsibility that comes with your words, especially when it comes to stuff like how do you interact with the general public and how they understand you as a company and what you do. One big area that I see this is when it comes to unemployment as a cause of AI, right? Because it is a thing that's going to happen. But is that a thing that's going to happen tomorrow? Is that a thing that's likely to happen today? Very much not so. I don't think, if you look at the capabilities of the models and the cost, I don't think we're going to see a heightened unemployment for everyone. So I do think there's going to be sectors where it's easier to unemploy, and maybe we're going to have to do some adjustments for how those sectors are even operated. Maybe the systems are going to have to change to work to the levels of the intricate details of the models. But still, when we talk about unemployment, I do think it's very much. I think it's the responsibility of these AI model providers and companies to make sure they're not just saying stuff to only boost their value, but also making sure that they're interacting properly and giving the proper nuance to the topic that's like needed for general audiences not to be rightfully worried about their livelihood. Because livelihood matters because you have a family, right? You have friends, you have your own individual life that you're trying to take care of. And so on, who has something that's very scary, right? It's saying, hey guys, best of luck. It's not going to look the best. But I also think from the other end of the spectrum, you have you have a whole mix of people. You have influencers, you have researchers, you have just general people on Twitter or Instagram. I think what happens here, from what I've noticed, is everyone's just trying to get the best tweet out as quickly as possible. They want the most engagement, and as such, they just say whatever. Wherever it sounds the most catchy, wherever it sounds like it's going to get the most reposts, wherever it sounds like it's going to be the new what's it, vibe coding from Andrew Karpathy, that's what people want to get out. And as such, a lot of the stuff that has been said recently, I want to say over the past couple of years when it comes to AI, has largely just been nothing. It's been missed. It actually means nothing. Like even the reaction sometimes can be very, very void of what it's being what it's being reacted to. I remember there's a very popular YouTuber. And there was this model released from ChatGPT. I think it was ChatGPT 5.5, and he nearly cried. Right, I'm not one to judge people for crying for why they cry because I'm a very emotional, I'm a very self person. But he nearly cried and made this dramatic video about the model. Now he had early access, and then after everyone got access, I was like, hey, this actually is not crazy of a model, right? Same thing happened with Fable now. People are saying it's really good. I do think it's a really good model. Was it something that's going to bring the end of the world? No. Was it something else AGI? No. I don't mean to say, like sucks to suck, but like even the way we react, right? The way we try to make things seem bigger than life. Like what I said in the beginning, it's not good. It's not necessary, right? Like AI research isn't Love Island. You don't need to boost up engagement. You can just say, hey, this is something pretty cool. Like I went to CVPR and there was this really cool poster about turning 2D into 3D using like this type of model to improve the visual or something like that. And that's just interesting on its own. He didn't have to say, hey guys, I have the new big thing. This is gonna change the world. The landscape of 3D is about to change forever. He just said, hey, this is what I have. This is what it currently does. And it's pretty good. I don't think we should change research into this thing where everything needs to be hyped to oblivion. Right? And so no, it's like I do think there's a way to be engaged. I think many people have done it successfully without trading in the truth. You can look at people like Hank Green or all the education ventures he's done. Um, I really do hope that we stare. And I know I say we. I know. I wonder if that seems. I don't know if that seems like I'm still trying to become like an AI researcher, but I say we. Um, I hope we do steer clear of being dramatic and just trying to boost our individual engagement, but more so to where it's like we just say the blunt truth, like, oh, this model can do this, this is how you can evaluate it, or this is the capability. And we can't get excited about the truth because the truth is actually very exciting. I don't think boring is because very often when you're doing research, there's a lot of boring aspects, but I think boring is the right word for the truth. Is like it's just is what it is, right? Like if you go outside to look at the trees, that's a very it can be described as a very boring sight, but like accepting for what it is does allow you to accept the beauty of it and can see the intricate details. And I think there's so much to be given. I think there's so much to be engaged with in that instead of saying, hey guys, this forest I'm looking at is the best forest in the world. And it's going to change the game of forest forever. And hopefully that's the case. I do think it has to be the case because the trajectory we're going on now just seems to be just rising and rising. Where it's go, the government is more worried, people are more worried. How much regulation then comes down into America, especially in terms of AI development, because it's not just something where we can say, oh, the best models, the best companies are in America, and we have the best everything when it comes to AI. That's not something you can really take for granted. We have the best model, we have the best models, we have the best talent for now, but that doesn't mean in 5 years that's going to be the case, right? I will say, one of these professors I really do like, she made a post about going to San Francisco and her experience. And one thing she was really worried about was the utilization of abundance in San Francisco. Like, are we using the tools responsibly, and also the whole depth thing with AI and students and all that. And my response to her was, we have big fat model systems products, right? And they work now, right? But the true test of stuff like that isn't if they work for a good demo, it's if they work for today, tomorrow, and when it's needed. I think we're still in the early stages of AI where we can't really maybe ChatGPT 5.5 would actually be what's needed for the job. Maybe it's actually something from a foreign nation that's way smaller but way more accurate and just gets the job done, right? And I think if we take comfort in our position and make reckless decisions because of our arrogance and because of our fear, then we are we're in a very tricky situation, and we're very likely to lose the benefits that come with having the best talent and best tools and best minds at the helm. And I think we're still early on, such that nothing that's necessarily been done before has really set us in stone. It could be very well in the next 5 months, the way AI discourse is handled could be very different from the past couple of years. It could be very well likely it's the same and maybe even worse. But I do think there's a lot of room for improvement and there's a lot of time to make that improvement. So hopefully that's the case. I think more and more people are seeing the impact of the actions that words have, whether you're the CEO of a company or just a researcher or just an influencer. So hopefully we can make the right changes. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.